Hi guys, welcome back. We're on episode 6 now, and I'm super excited. I actually do have like an intro song type thing for these episodes. I made it myself. I'm super proud of it. It's nice, but I don't know how to edit it in yet. I'm not that good at editing yet. But when I learn, it's going to be fire. But yeah. Also, if my voice sounds a little deep, it's cuz I'm getting a little sick. I'm not getting sick, but like that day when your throat starts getting real dry and it start hurting to swallow a little bit and you're like, oh shit, here it comes. That's like where I'm at right now. So my throat is just like dry as hell. So if it sounds like, I'm doing like a Barry Manilow thing, I promise I'm not. It's getting rough out here with the weather. But I wanted to start off today's episode with 2 questions. They were comments under a show I was watching on Crunchyroll, and there were like a good amount of debates in the comments, but not enough for me. And I don't like debate in comments and stuff like that. I usually just like screenshot the question and send it to people I know, but nobody answered me yet, so I just want to talk about it up here. So the first question was, who's a better MC between Naruto and Deku from My Hero? And I feel like the obvious answer is Naruto, but people in the comments were putting up like very dedicated arguments to why Deku was a better MC. But the only thing is, and I might be biased because like I grew up with Naruto and everything, but even if I didn't, like, the question wasn't who do you like more between Naruto and Deku. It's not like what show did you fuck with more. It's about literally who's the better MC, and it's Naruto. Even though I've said before, I'm not saying that like My Hero is a bad show, because it's not. It's fantastic. It's a great show. I've cried on several episodes. But like, if we're going like just facts, Naruto is better. And the fact that Deku has a mom is already like, it's already like separating, you know what I mean? Naruto didn't have nobody. So I don't know. I just feel like as far as like all the things that make a strong main character, I feel like Naruto has more than Deku, even though Deku is a fire MC. I cannot stress that enough. Y'all know how in Family Guy Stewie is always like, and I cannot stress this enough. But yeah, he's a fire character. I love everybody in My Hero Academia. So it's not that he's not a good one, because he's great, but he's not. Well, I've even said that I think My Hero Academia has the like ability to be this generation's Naruto, even though Naruto is for every generation. But like how it was for like people my age and a little bit older or younger than me, like that was the anime, or other than Dragon Ball Z, because that was just, even if you don't watch anime, everybody fucking watched Dragon Ball Z, even if it was a little bit. But I really do think that My Hero has like, they're definitely this generation's Naruto, in my opinion. But yeah, I just thought it was so clearly Naruto with that question. And when people were saying Deku, I was like, I don't know yet. Okay, and so the second question that I saw in the comments was, if you could be any anime character, who would you be? And there were so many good like choices people had. And I was like, damn, are mine kind of whack? Because, okay, I'm going to just name like top 3, because there's so many. But my top 3 are so much more lame than anybody else. Like any other anime fans' top 3 are better than mine. Just putting that. I don't want to disappoint nobody, because y'all probably like, damn, she about to name some fire names. I'm kind of not. So just wait. So my top 3, if I could be any anime character, would be Light Yagami, Itachi, and Hit from Dragon Ball Z. I come ready with explanations, okay? Just wait. So first, I would want to be Light Yagami because, I don't know, even though that would have to be a short period of time, because I would become a villain so quickly. I just want to know what that felt like. He became a villain, so like, yeah. But I don't, and the good thing is I don't even know whose name would go first on the death note. But as soon as I don't know, like have a bad day in traffic or whatever, I don't know. But as soon as I put that first one up there and then I see it happen, I'm gonna be like, oh wow. So actually, I remember like 5 years ago, this one bitch, I just feel like it would go downhill from the very first time. And then my second one would be Itachi, because I have so many questions about his character in general. But I've always wanted to know what it felt like to be put in a genjutsu. I'm probably saying that wrong. Don't come for me if I am. Oh my God. My brother's going to listen to this and he's going to be like, what the fuck did you say? Oh my gosh. But I've always wanted to be put in one of those, and I think it would be super dope to put somebody in those. And he's just a fire ass character. Like he's just cool. He can do anything. And I like animals, and he be with the ravens or the crows. Wow, I'm really doing my brother in right now. And Itachi is my brother's favorite character, so I know he when he listens to this, he's gonna be like, "You're acting like you don't know shit about him." I'm sorry, bro. But yeah, I just feel like he'd be like a real cool nigga to be for a day or whatever. And then my third one, which is probably the most anticlimactic one out of all of them, is Hit from Dragon Ball Z. And the only reason I want to be Hit is because he just looked cool as fuck. I promise you, that's it. He can fight real good too, He's a real dope character. But y'all know how he be walking up with his hands in his pockets and he be like, I don't want to talk, nigga, let's fight. He just be saying like one-liners. I feel like that's cool. And I feel like if I was a man, I would want to be like that. He just seemed like a real cool black dude. That's literally like, when I was reading the comments, people were saying like, oh yeah, Goku, and yeah, all these people. The girls in the comments was naming bitches from Sailor Moon. I was like, damn, that's a good one. And I'm over here talking about some Hit, Itachi. And who's my other one? Oh, Light Yagami. How did I forget him? He's like the most exciting one out of the whole pick. But guys, that was the 2 questions that I saw on Crunchyroll in the comments. And I just wanted to talk about it. Oh, and the show that I was watching on Crunchyroll is Chainsaw Man. And I like it a lot. But it's not at all what I thought it was going to be. I got like told to watch it. Somebody was like, you need to fucking watch that. And I was like, okay, bet. But I didn't watch like any preview. They didn't tell me about it at all. Like I just watched it like raw. Pause. But it's really good. It's really good. His obsession with titties is crazy. That threw me off guard because I was just like, it gave me like One Punch Man vibes. How like he isn't serious until he start fighting. But I was like, that level of horniness is crazy. Because, every anime has that one little perverted nigga. Like the little purple dude on My Hero and Jiraiya and kind of everybody from Jujutsu Kaisen. But, yeah, his whole motivation in life is just to touch a titty, which I thought was hilarious. And I think the characters are nice, too. Okay, spoiler alert. I'm on episode 10. So I think I got one more. But the part when they went through just shooting everybody up and Makima got shot in the head, I was like, damn. They were really like, the writers were writing this girl up like she was like she was it, like she was a strong girl. She just got done up in the head. That's crazy. How easily she just died. And I was like, damn. I'm over here thinking like, well, maybe she wasn't that great. Whole time she not even dead. And her power was crazy. She was just smushing niggas. I was like I said, I got one more episode to go. So maybe the last episode will give me some more information. But I was like, God damn. It's a really good anime. It's not the best anime I've seen. I'm not gonna lie. It's really not the best anime I've seen, but it's all right. If I had to rate it out of 10 so far, I would give it like a 7.9. It is good, but I feel like it's just starting, or I don't feel like it's just starting. I know it's just starting. Like, it's new. Like, 11 is at the end of the season. It's just 11 episodes out right now. So hopefully it'll get better. Even though it is good now. Okay, guys. And next, I want to do like a little story time, because I got reminded of this story a few days ago, and every time I tell this story, I laugh so hard, because you ever have those moments where you do something, or like you think about something you did as like a child or just a long time ago, and you're just like, why would you do that? Like, why are you like this? So this story is one of those moments that every time I think about it, I just like palm my face. I'm just like, why was that your immediate reaction? So this story takes place when I was in first grade, and I was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I remember my teacher, we were sitting there just like reading quietly or something, and my teacher came in and she asked us, she was like, can anybody volunteer to do something for me? I remember what she said, but we'll get into that in another episode because it's kind of important. But she was like, I need a favor, and I need somebody in the class to volunteer to help me. So the thing she was asking the class to do for someone, Jesus Christ, the thing she was asking for one of us to do, I could do. So I put my hand up and I was like, I can do it. I just had like a mini stroke. We're not going to ignore that. Anyway, I'll try to edit it out. And if I don't, if you even giggle, you're anti-black. But, so I put my hand up and I was like, I can do it. All of a sudden, this girl got so mad at me. She just started, like, another first grader. She got so mad at me and she was cussing me out using like literal cuss words. That was crazy. And she was like, oh my gosh. She was like, you always want to do something. I hate bitches like you. She said bitches like you in the first grade. Like, I said, who? We were 7. I said, whose child is this? What is happening? Why was she so mad? It was crazy. She was cussing me out. And then she started like walking up to me, like cussing me out. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, I was just standing there with my mouth open. Like, what is happening? So she's calling me all types of bitches and stupids, and she just kept saying, I hate you. Like, I hate bitches like you. And I was like, who have you heard say these words? Like, we are children. So she get in my face and she's like, we're damn near nose to nose, right? And I'm like, you got hella hostility. So she's like headbutting me a little bit. And I'm like, okay. So my teacher's like, ladies, She wasn't getting off me, so I bit her on the lip. And when I say I bit her on the lip, I didn't like bite and release. Like, I bit her on the lip and I like dug my teeth. Like, she was bleeding. And she was screaming and stuff like that. But I was just like, no, because you were just screaming in my face. And my teacher was losing her shit. Like, I remember her name. Her name was Miss Beck Hall. She was a white lady in Ferguson. But she was like, oh my God. So I let go, which is a crazy sentence to say off of somebody's face. But I let go and like, I just stood back. I remember wiping my mouth because I had a little bit of her blood on my chin. And she just started screaming. I mean, the girl just started crying. She was being so dramatic. She like plopped on the floor and started like crying. And I was like just standing there. And my teacher literally didn't know which one of us to like do something with first. She was like, just get up. And she was like, Zaria, sit down. And then she took the girl out, and I guess they went to the nurse and stuff like that. And this is why kids are awful, but also hilarious, because there was one boy. Everybody, like when my teacher walked the girl out, everybody in the class was silent. Like everybody was looking at each other, but nobody really knew what to say. This one boy started cracking the fuck up. Oh my gosh. He was screaming like it came from his core. I was like, there's no way. And then of course that made everybody else in the class laugh. And then everybody was looking at me. And these kids used to cuss so much, which is crazy now being the age I am, because we were like 7. And I heard so many, damn, like kids are ruthless. But yeah. And then I remember my teacher never came back to the class, but my principal came and got me. And she asked me, like, what just happened? And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I started crying. I'm not gonna lie. I was crying. Y'all know anybody else, like, when y'all start to, like, it don't even have to be a crazy situation, but anybody asks you, like, what's wrong or what happened, you immediately just start crying. Like, your chest feels so heavy. It's like, I don't even know how to answer this because, oh my gosh, it could be anything. What happened? Well, you just start getting shaky at the throat. But so I told her what happened. I was like, Ms. Beck asked us to do something. I put my hand up. She said yes. I was about to get up to go help her do it, and then she started yelling at me, getting in my face and stuff. And I don't really know how to fight because I'm 7. So I bit her on the lip. I promise you that's what happened. And I don't even know why it happened, but it did. So yeah. And she was like, I could tell she was trying so hard not to laugh. And she was like, well, Miss Harrison, I appreciate you for not putting your hands on her. I really do appreciate that. But you know, it really wasn't a good thing what you did. And I was like, I know. And then started crying more. Oh, I was snot bubbling, ear sweating by now. I was like, I know, but she was in my face. Yeah, it was over. And then she was like, well, your story does add up with Miss Beck. So, unfortunately, we had to send her home, and we're just gonna wait and see what we need to do with you, okay? And I was like, okay. And then, like, I waited, like, maybe 20 minutes, and they just sent me back to class. Like, nothing else happened. And now that I'm older, what I'm pretty sure happened was that they tried to call my mom, and my mom didn't answer, so they was just like, you know what? Just send her back. Anybody that grew up in, like, a single parent home where your parent worked 2 jobs, they not answering the phone. Like, somebody's gonna have to go to their job, get them in order for them to, no, they're not answering that phone. So they were just like, you know what? Just send her back to class. The day's almost over anyway. She rides the bus. It's all right. Get her out of here. But yeah, that was the story of me biting a girl on the lip in the 1st grade. And you know what's crazier about that? We were still in the same class together. Like, they didn't, I mean, I guess they thought because we were 1st graders, like, oh, they're just babies, they're just kids, which we literally were. But if anything like that happened in high school, like, I'm pretty sure somebody got to be put in a new class. But they just kept us in the same, I mean, we didn't sit at the same, like, little circle table together, but we definitely saw the rest of the school year in that one class together. I was like, damn. But she was real nice to me afterwards, though. She was real, we were actually friends. That's crazy. I don't even think me and her ever talked about that, like, since then. It was just one of those things where it's just like, you know what, we're friends now, because we don't even need to experience those emotions again. Damn. I mean, I don't talk to her anymore, but back when I did, I would have been weak as hell to bring up that to her. Like, bitch, do you remember me biting you on the lip? She probably would have been like, no. You know damn well you remember that. Remember that. Okay, wait. I was gonna end the episode with Am I the Asshole? But I just remembered this really childish, it's another school story, and it's super stupid and it's super childish, but it makes me laugh every time I think about it, so I have to tell it. So I remember this was like maybe 7th grade. Is that when they start teaching like sex ed and stuff like that? I think it was, because that was right before we went to high school. So maybe it was 8th grade. Anyway, so it was that day, and the day before, obviously, we had to get our parents to sign the little permission slip and shit. So it was the day of the class, and I remember the teacher coming in the class saying, you know, guys, you guys are about to be in high school. Oh, so it was definitely 8th grade. You guys are about to be in high school, you know. You guys are going to have this presentation, and you need to be super mature about it. Like, show us that you're ready for high school. Like, she was really giving it all to us. Like, show us that you're mature and you're ready to learn about your bodies. And we were all like, I mean, yeah, like, okay. Like, everybody was acting like it was, like, nobody really wanted to do it. Like, nobody was really looking at the board. Nobody was really, like, listening to her talk, right? Everybody was acting like it was cool. Probably half of them, never mind. But you know what I'm about to say. Anyway, so I'm like, damn, they taking this, like, a lot more mature than I thought they would. So then my teacher isn't the one that teaches the class. It's some other lady that comes in. Some, like, wrinkly, old-ass, powdery lady. I'm going in. But She didn't even deserve it straight like that. But that's what she looked like. And I feel like they get the most unattractive. That's crazy. That's so mean what I'm saying right now. But it's true. Especially when you're a kid. You're just like, damn. Of course they picked her to teach this class. Anyway. So this lady comes in who I just violated. And she starts going over, diseases first and stuff like that, just to get everybody all grossed out, because she about to show the real shit in a minute. So there's a couple like, and there's a couple, laughs in the back once they start talking about, herpes and shit like that. Niggas is like, you got that, Jimmy? But yeah, just regular kid shit when you're talking about diseases. They can't take shit serious. So then the lady pauses and she's like, okay, guys, so we're going to be, teaching you what the scientific names for your body parts are. So just in case you ever need to talk to somebody, or just in case you want to explain something to somebody, you'll know what you're talking about. So everybody was like, okay, bet. She was like, now the pictures are a little bit explicit. That's why we had your parents sign the permission slips. She was like, I really need you guys to take this serious, because it is serious. This is something that, she was really giving it to us. And we're like, oh, girl, if you don't press play on the slideshow. So everybody's cool. Like, I think she showed like the woman's like, what did she show first? I can't remember, but it was some part of a woman's body that nobody cared about. This lady clicked the next button on the slideshow, and like some titties popped up, and this boy stood up and was like, titties! When I tell you I could not breathe, I was laughing so hard. Oh my goodness. And the crazy thing about it is, at this school, I was new, so I didn't really know anybody. I didn't talk that much. And everybody was laughing, because it was one of those things where you had to be there, because he screamed to the top of his lungs. And I was like, why would you do that in the middle? This lady she just poured her heart out into how we should be so mature, and you just screamed that. But like I said, I didn't talk and I didn't really know anybody, and I was a new kid, but everybody was weak, but I was crying. I could not breathe. Oh my gosh. It was to the point where it was one of those laughs where after everybody's like already done laughing, I'm still laughing. Like I was bleeding tears. And this was like, if you have like spurts of anxiety and like you're really like an introvert, when people like stare at you or single you out, it feels like you're gonna die inside. So even though I was laughing, my teacher, or the lady who was presenting, she did the worst thing she could ever do. She was like, do you want to step out into the hallway until you're done? Which made everybody in the classroom turn around and look at me. And I'm still weak as hell. I can't even talk. So I just have to get up while I'm still laughing and just walk out of the classroom. And I promise you I didn't go back. I promise you I couldn't wait until that fucking bell rang. I just went to the bathroom. I was like, there's no way I'm going back in that class. And I went back to get my bathroom after the class was empty. The lady wasn't even in there. So I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm going back to that fucking classroom. So, yep, that lesson's over. So I never learned sex ed. I never learned sex ed because apparently I was too immature. But it was the funniest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. And I didn't even he was the one being immature for real. I just found it hilarious. I did exactly what my teacher literally told us not to do, which is crazy. But yeah, that story makes me laugh every time I think about it. So I just had to tell it. Okay, guys. So I'm going to wrap the episode shortly, but I know I'm all over the place with these segments, but I still kind of want to end on am I the asshole from one of my stories. I don't know why I think I want to keep that in, even though I'm probably going to change out the question of the day, story of the day. I don't know. It's only episode 6, like I keep saying, we're going to get better. And when I go to edit these episodes and I play back my audio, I stutter so much, and it's so crazy. But that should not be a reason you don't listen to this podcast, because if it is, then that says more about you than it does me. But yeah, so we're gonna end on an Am I the Asshole? And today's Am I the Asshole is, funny enough, a story about me and my ex. And the fact that that I say he's my ex is crazy because of the story I'm about to tell. Okay, so I met him working at the same job, and he was real rude to me at first. Well, real rude to everybody. And so I didn't really pay him any attention, right? So what I did at the job was basically I was his manager, right? So then we started talking, or we would work shifts where it was just me and him on the shift for like maybe 3 hours or 2 hours, and then somebody else would come in. So on those shifts where it was just me and him for a couple hours, we would start talking, and we learned that we shared a little bit of the same like childhood, and that's not really a good thing. But when you find people that share the same childhood trauma as you, even though it's rare, it feels good, which is bad, but it does feel good because you feel like it feels like you're fucked up for a reason. And I know that's a terrible sentence, but when you meet other people that are fucked up and then you share stories and they're similar, you're like, oh my gosh, you too? But that's basically the bond we had, right? That's where it started. And then we started texting, or I remember specifically we were having like some type of party or something at our work, and I had changed my hair, and he walked up to me and he was like, you're actually really pretty. And me being me, I was like, damn, that would have been a fire compliment if you didn't have that actually in there. You know what I mean? Like I low-key want to punch you in the face, but thanks, I guess, nigga. And so after he said that, then when we worked together, he would get a little nicer. I like to test people's patience. So I would always reach out for a hug, and he'd try to be all cool and he wouldn't give me a hug. And then eventually he started giving me a hug. If you know, you know. Wait, that sounded nasty. I meant literally he started giving me a hug. I just meant, how people be like, I don't give hugs. And then 3 weeks later, they initiating a hug. Yeah, all right. But so he started getting real nice and stuff like that. Like I said, we started texting. And then I don't know if it's New Year's. I can't remember, but it's some type of holiday that you can celebrate it if you want. Basically, that's why I don't know if maybe it was the 4th of July. I feel like the 4th of July is more one of those, like, you could do something if you wanted to. So he invited me to his house, and I was like, I'm not going to your house. Because at this point I was attracted to him. He would show that he was attracted to me like a little bit, like that day where he said I was actually kind of pretty. It would be stuff like that. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know he's attracted to me. I thought he was fine as hell. So I say a lot. I need to stop doing that. Anyway, so he invites me over. He's like, yeah, we can watch the fireworks. Yeah, it was 4th of July. And I was like, I'm not going to your house, cause no, you're gonna try to be on some, I'm not going. He was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Why would I do that? I was like, cause you have no reason not to. Like, what are you talking about? I hate when niggas be like, what I gotta lie for? Like, nothing. That's why you lying. Like, Anyway, sorry, I started ranting for a second. I started having flashbacks. Yeah, so he trying to persuade me. I'm not gonna lie, hold it. We just gonna cut right to the chase. I did. And I was over there. And I don't know why we do this, but of course I was sitting at the closest corner off the bed. Like, I had one cheek on the bed. I was like, I won't be what he think I am tonight. I won't be. And I was. But it took me a long time to get there, girl. So whoever listened to this, y'all need to be proud of me, okay? I stayed strong for as long as I could. This was back when I was, not when I was a child. Lord, I was not a child. But this was back when I was grown, but, just barely, okay? I'm real grown now, so relax on me. So we're listening to, like, slow jams. And if you know me, my, like, 75% of my playlist is slow jams. I listen to sad music and love music all the time. And I'm like, oh, he knows some of my songs. He even knew some of my underground songs. And I was like, oh, you gotta really know if you know this. So yeah, we were just having a good time. And then, I started getting a little cold. What can I say? I don't like to be cold. I like warmth. And I was like, in my head, I was like, if I was in my bed, I'd be under the covers. So what difference does it make if I'm in his bed under the covers? You know what I mean? I want covers, you know? It's not... So I got under the covers, and and so yeah, so the next morning, you know, just add the covers and two people together. So the next morning, he made me breakfast, and I was like, okay, but oh wait, I skipped a part. Hold on. I jumped right to the bed. Jesus Christ. I'm leaving out a crucial part of this story. Hold on. So right before we get to the point where he invite me over his house, we're like talking about like how we're attracted to each other, right? I left this part out. This is so important. So he was like, yeah, but I could never date you because, you know, we work at the same place. And I was like, facts, that's crazy. I agree. And he was like, I'm not gonna lie, I am attracted to you. And I was like, I mean, I know that. Obviously, I'm attracted to you too. And so I remember making some type of initiative of like trying to be funny, like, I won't tell if you don't, or something corny like that. Like I was trying to chirps. So I was like, I won't tell if you don't. And then that's when he invited me over his house, right? And then, you know, that whole story so that's when that happened. Okay, I left that part out. So then, you know, now we're hanging out and stuff like that, and we're texting more often. And this is what he tells me, okay? He says, you know, when girls come up to our job and they start flirting with me, I don't need you acting crazy or nothing like that. And I was like, oh, I know, this is just like friends with benefits. Like, I'm not even that type of person to be getting mad. I mean, you look good. Hell, I look good. But this is the part where he thought it was all about him. Okay? So listen, he said, when girls come up here and start flirting with me and asking me for my number, I don't need you to be going crazy, acting like I'm yours or anything like that, right? Basically initiating how strongly this is just a friends with benefits type thing, right? And I was like, I could not understand more. Not only could I not agree more, I should have said it first, right? I was chilling. So what he failed to realize was just as good at this time, just as good as he looked, I looked just that good too. So there were people coming up to our job also trying to flirt with me, get my number, take me out, right? He didn't think about that though, right? He said, when these bitches come in here and they see me and they start foaming at the mouth, I don't want you to say shit. And I was like, bet. So, you know, couple months going down the line, you know, we have hung out plenty of times now. You know what I mean? He's still cooking me breakfast. We laying in the bed listening to music and eating dinner was like our thing. We just used to be kicking it, and we had low-key the same schedule, so it was cute. So, like I said, months go down, and as he said, just as he predicted, he's a wizard. Girls did come in and would try to get his number, try to get him to take them out, or hell, try to take him out. I mean, women our age, old women, old women, like he was hot shit. And I said nothing. I said none of our coworkers knew, nothing. I was literally chilling. But then a guy started to come in, and he was so obviously attracted to me, and I got hit on all day. I've never been more sexually harassed at a job than I was at that one. So me getting hit on was an everyday thing, right? It was just by old people. But there was this one young guy, and he was fine. I'm not gonna lie, he was fine. But he was a lot older than me, and I don't know, he just had something off about him that I was just like, nah, I feel like if I fuck with you, something bad gonna happen to me. I don't know why I felt like that about him. I just did. It's like, I feel like, no. So, but I used to love to talk to him. So check this. So, oh my God, I talk like such a mom. Anyway, he would come into my work, and after he left, I would go on break so I could talk to him outside. We'd be talking outside for like 30 minutes, or basically all of my break. So we did this not every day, but like every other day, or at least twice a week, right? Enough for my coworkers to notice. So my coworkers, including the dude that I'm friends with benefiting with, would be talking amongst themselves like, dang, she must really like him, or dang, look, they always talk, they've been talking up there for 3 hours. It's only been 20 minutes, relax. So then of course, what we gonna call him? Clifford the big red dog, that's what we gonna call the dude I'm friends with, benefiting with. Clifford the big red dog, he in the middle of these, everybody talking about, oh, how much I like him and how we be spending all my breaks together and stuff like that, right? So Clifford getting mad. He's like, excuse me, you're ruining everything I said. Like, what is going on? So I would come back in from talking to the dude, and I'd go up to Clifford and I'd be like, hey, what's up? And he'd just ignore me and walk away. And I'm like, oh, shit, what'd I do? And it took me at least 3 times of me coming in from talking to old boy to tap Clifford on the shoulder, and he just air me out for me to realize, oh, I know this nigga not mad that I was outside talking to this dude, right? So now I'm like, that can't be it. So it's like a weekend, and I go over to Clifford's house, and we, and he's making us dinner and stuff like that. So then he asks like a random question, like, so what's up with you and homeboy? And in my head, I'm like, no, you didn't. So I'm like, what you mean? And he's like, you sure do be spending a lot of time with him. And now I'm like, oh, okay. All right, I know we about to go. So I'm thinking I got the upper hand, right? I'm like, are we jealous? Is that what's happening? And he was like, I mean, you would be jealous too. And I was like, hold on, what? And he was like, I mean, you outside with him for like an hour. And I'm like, it was definitely 30 minutes. It's always 30 minutes. It's never been over 30 minutes, but continue. He was like, you outside with him for like an hour. And I'm just supposed to sit and I'm just supposed to sit in there and watch that. And I'm like, first of all, you don't have to watch that. And the fact that you watching is wild, actually. I'm like, and I'm joking. I'm like, if you jealous, just say that. Like, if you're jealous that somebody is interested in me, just say that. Like, it's cool. It's okay. I understand. And he was like, I just don't know why you think this is funny. Like, obviously I'm jealous. And I'm like, okay. Well, I don't understand what that got to do with me. And I'm like, you the one, now I'm throwing it back in his face, right? I'm like, you the one who said if girls come up to you in the gym and they flirt with you, try to get your number, that I shouldn't say nothing. So why is it a problem when I'm doing it? Like, why all of a sudden when niggas start coming at me and want my number and want to take me out, now you just forgetting everything that you said? I couldn't wait to throw that shit back in his face. I was, and it tasted so good coming out of my mouth. I was basically like, remember when you said that bitches was gonna come to see you? Remember what you told me not to do? Oh, okay. Like, I was ready. Girl, this man shut that shit all the way down. He was like, okay, but that's before I loved you. I love you now. I said, what? I don't even know what that sound was I just made. I said, huh? Excuse me? And he was like, are we not together? Like, are you not my girl? And I was like, what the hell is going on? What the fuck is actually going on? I was so confused. I said, no, are we not friends with benefits? And this nigga said, okay, bet. And he told me to leave. He literally told me to get out. And he didn't tell me to get out. He was like, you should probably go home because I'm going to be mad for the rest of the night or something like that. And I got my ass up and I went home. But I was texting him and I was like, I don't understand what you're mad for, because you can do something, but I can't do something. Like, you're the one who set this shit up. Like, when people start, when people start getting on to us, that neither one of us should get jealous. I'm so confused on what's going on. So he's like, don't talk to me. And I'm like, I'm not understanding. He was like, so me cooking you breakfast every morning, that doesn't make you my girl? He was like, me buying you pajamas so you can spend the night over here, that doesn't make you my girl? He was like, us going out to dinner, that doesn't make you my girl? me oiling your scalp, that doesn't, you cutting my hair, you meeting so and so, us doing this and us doing that, that doesn't make we're not together. And I was like, no. Are we not friends with benefits? He was like, at some point it stops being friends with benefits. Like, he's mad as hell. And I'm like, okay, so when were we going to talk about that? Like, when were we going to have the conversation of, I'm your girl, you're my man? Because we never had that. So I'm thinking that you're just the best friends with benefits ever. You know what I mean? We never had that conversation. So I'm thinking I'm out here just getting, luxury friends with benefits. And he was so mad. And he stopped talking to me for a really long time after that. Like, a really long time. And still, well, not still to this day, because I don't talk to him anymore. But I'm pretty sure last time we spoke, he still thought that he was right. And I was like, anybody else who would hear this story from the start to finish would know that I was right. But I'm not going to lie. Some people that I've told the story to have been like, no, obviously, yeah. But I don't know. Am I the asshole for that? Because I feel like if we're going to cross a barrier, if we started as friends with benefits and you want to cross over to be in a relationship, I feel like that needs to be a conversation. Or at least you need to let me know. I don't know. I don't know. I felt bad afterwards because I told this story to one of my girlfriends. And she was like, girl, that man loved you. And you just stomped all over that shit. And I was like, is that what happened though? Is that what happened? And then I slept on it. And I was like, I think that is what happened. But I didn't know. I just felt like that could have been handled better on both of our ends. But whatever. Just let me know if I'm the asshole. Anybody who's listening to this, who I don't even want to know if I was the asshole. Was I right or was I wrong? That's really what I want to know. But okay, guys, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you for listening to me talk. And I will see you guys on episode 7. And hopefully by episode 7, I'll have the intro. I'll learn how to put the intro in here so you guys can hear it because it's super cute. But if I don't, then you're just going to hear me say hi, guys. Okay, bye, guys.